In an MDM survey from the second quarter of 2012, 85.4% of distributor respondents said they had plans to improve their websites over the next 12 months. One of the top responses? Improving the e-commerce capabilities. While it's impossible to say how many of these respondents actually moved forward with that plan, we've seen several distributors launching new platforms focused on e-commerce over the last few months. In fact, just this week, Lawson Products sent out a press release announcing its new e-commerce website focused on more functionality, more products, and more technical information for its customers. And they're not alone. At the beginning of the year, Nefco Corp., a regional industrial and construction supply distributor based in East Hartford, Connecticut, also launched a new e-commerce-enabled website. Within the first week, they saw noticeable results in that some of their existing customers were already buying products that they had never bought from Nefco in the past, according to Matthew Gellis, the Director of E-commerce and Business Development for the distributor. MDM recently did a survey in conjunction with Real Results Marketing on the state of e-commerce and distribution, and the results support the anecdotes that we've seen over the past year. MDM staff writer Angela Polson recently spoke with Jonathan Bine, senior partner at Real Results Marketing, about the results of that survey and what we can see in the industry right now.
The recent MDM Real Results Marketing e-commerce survey revealed that e-commerce revenue as a percent of overall revenue is up from last year. What do you think drove this change?
I think everybody knows that e-commerce is happening in distribution and that that's the general direction. And last year's survey indicated that many distributors were actually rolling out an e-commerce solution. So we knew last year that a lot was in progress. In terms of why, many distributors have been compelled by their customers. The customers have demanded it. In some cases, the distributors have created specialized portals for particular select customers. Some of those distributors, when they've gotten enough of those select customers, just decide to create a more generalized e-commerce solution. However, many more have seen they need a general solution from the beginning to serve all customers, not just a few customers. Some of the things we've seen in recent discussions with distributors is that some have lost local business to distant competitors through the competitors' e-commerce solution. So that's ended up being a big wake-up call where people really see that it's something that's not a nice-to-have, but a must-have.
Has the rise of e-commerce changed the way companies do business?
It's absolutely changed the way companies do business, and we've seen them gain efficiencies in several different ways. First, it's very powerful for serving smaller customers. It's often difficult to serve smaller customers with just field sales, and e-commerce provides a cost-effective solution for doing that. Second thing is serving distant customers. Many distributors have realized that they can expand their geographic footprint. Rather than adding salespeople, e-commerce is the mechanism to allow them to sell across the country. And then finally, many are serving customers who don't need a sales rep to make the purchase. They're perhaps buying something they purchased before, and engaging with the sales rep or engaging on the phone is going to be cumbersome. In terms of the marketplace itself, what I'd say is that it's enabled national and in some cases even global competitors to take business from small, local, and regional distributors. So that's a huge effect in the marketplace, kind of circling back to what I was saying before, that it's a wake-up call for many of the local distributors. But I think the biggest thing that's looming, and some people have realized it and some are yet to realize it, is that there's now a problem in positioning your business. If Amazon Global or Amazon Distribution can provide what it is you're selling and they can provide it at a lower price, unless you're adding other value, you run the risk of getting into a price war with a very, very large player, and that can be a race to the bottom. But the reality is most distributors do have real value add that they can offer relative to an Amazon. Think about the last time you reached somebody from Amazon on the phone. The answer is never. The things that distributors do well, they really need to understand in a way that they probably never had to understand before. And based upon that understanding, they need to really sharpen their messaging and positioning so that they don't end up in a price war with a much, much larger player that's got larger and deeper resources to draw from.
The survey indicates distributors' primary e-commerce goals are acquiring new customers and growing wallet share. What other benefits can distributors reap by improving e-commerce capabilities?
One of the interesting ones is that distributors almost always realize that they can provide more information to their own salespeople. So their own salespeople end up being some of the biggest users of the information on the e-commerce site. And this could be inside salespeople as well as field salespeople. Another piece that is very powerful for distributors is using automation, marketing automation, email marketing, etc., to help grow transaction size, really understanding analytically where the cross-selling opportunities are and putting that into offers that reach people that are going to get them to come to the website and potentially buy more things. Using automation within the website to cross-sell is a big opportunity. And then finally, I think many distributors are seeing operational efficiency, and this primarily comes from reducing the cost of order processing. When you take the human out of the loop, the cost goes down immediately, again, whether it's field sales or inside sales. And even if the e-commerce system is not fully integrated with the ERP system, they can still see significant operational efficiencies in reducing the order processing.
Many distributors recognize the need to improve site usability. Which aspects of site design do you think are most important to get right?
Well, I'll start with kind of a critical comment. I see a lot of sites that, independent of usability, lack aesthetic appeal. And there's a legacy of distributor websites that lack aesthetic appeal. But within usability itself, I think some of the key things to get right are as follows. One, getting search right. There are many different types of search, and depending on the types of products that you're selling, one or more of these types of search may be appropriate. If you're selling something that's highly technical, such as an electronic product, you need to have parametric search where you can search by performance attributes of the items that you're looking to purchase. I think another piece is getting information really well organized on the site so that you can do things like cross-sell, so that people can find the specs easily. Often you find that you need to dig. I'll tell you another aspect of site usability that's a sticking issue for some distributors. Often you have to have an account to actually be able to order from the site. That is a huge impediment for doing business in this day and age, because an account could take, in the best case, hours to get approved, in the normal case days, and in worst case weeks. So being able to purchase from the website without having an account is a big aspect of usability.
More than 20% of distributors listed mobile accessibility as a goal this year. How important is mobile accessibility, and what do distributors need to do to address this goal?
I think this is an issue where there's been a little bit more hype than reality. Nevertheless, we're going to see the reality of mobile e-commerce in a serious way in the next 2 to 3 years. Many companies are doing the simple things right now of either making sure their site can run on a mobile device or actually mobile enabling it. But I think some of the key things in getting it right are around making sure that product content looks decent on a much, much smaller device, and making sure that there are easy ways to order.